Jordan McPherson, who covers the Marlins for the Miami Herald, kind enough to join us yesterday at this time, and here he is again joining us today. You were in Philadelphia yesterday at this time. Where are you now, Jordan?
I'm back home in Broward County, Sunrise to be specific. Yeah, got back home late yesterday.
Okay, where do we stand with Marlins baseball?
As of right now, obviously their game yesterday against the Baltimore Orioles was postponed. Their game today is also postponed, which makes sense considering they're still in Philadelphia and Baltimore flew back from Miami to Baltimore late last night. The tentative plan is if their testing results are at an acceptable level by MLB, they'll be able to bus over to Baltimore on Wednesday to play their 2 series game there Wednesday and Thursday. Obviously, only the players who tested negative would be going over. Anybody who tests positive is still going to be quarantined in Philadelphia.
Are they able to bring up players? They have another 30 players that are available to them from the minor leagues. Are those players going to be brought up to take the place of those who have tested positive?
That would be correct. They have 30 players at their alternate training site down in Jupiter, Florida, and they're also looking at some veteran free agents or some other players who were on the open market to sign. They added two relief pitchers, Josh D. Smith, not to be confused with the Josh A. Smith, who was already in their player pool, and Justin Schaefer. They claimed both of them from the Reds yesterday afternoon.
What have we learned in the last 24 hours about what happened over the weekend with the Marlins?
There's still a lot of uncertainty. There's been no specifics about their test results from their latest round, which they did about 10 at some point between 10 and 10:30 on Monday. Those tests take anywhere from 12 to 24 hours to come back. Obviously, we're still at the tail end of that window of finding out if there are any other additional positives on top of the 13 that they found out since they got to Philadelphia. In terms of where it originated, there's still a lot of unknowns. Rob Manfred said on MLB Network yesterday that the league has theories, but nothing definitive. But it's really, there are a few spots. Obviously, Atlanta from their exhibition game seems to be a focal point that a lot of people are going to, especially considering both of the Braves' main catchers had symptoms, even though they didn't test positive for COVID-19, and the Marlins played 2 exhibition games there. So whether it was the Braves passing to the Marlins passing to the Braves, we still don't know where the exact origin was. But it looks like, even though the Atlanta, those 2 games seems to be some sort of a breaking out point.
Before I let you go, I'm curious who knew about this decision to play that game on Sunday, even though they knew players had tested positive. Did Don Mattingly know? Why are they leaving it up to a player to make the decision to go out and play a baseball game, Jordan?
Well, to add on to that a little bit, Rob Manfred said on his interview yesterday that the league was aware of the positive test. They did contact tracing to see if there anybody who on the team who could be potentially exposed, which his clarification and according to what he said, the CDC guidelines were just being a teammate and just being in the clubhouse doesn't necessarily mean you're potentially exposed. How much we can actually agree on that is up for debate. But they said that they found about a handful of players who might have been potentially exposed. They held all of those players in the hotel. And then the decision was made that it was safe to play the game if everybody else on the Marlins were okay with it. And obviously the players and Don Mattingly were okay with it enough for them to play.
Well, good luck, Jordan. I'm not sure where your travels are going to take you, but hopefully you're headed to Baltimore, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my plan is to leave for Baltimore first thing tomorrow morning.
Jordan McPherson, he covers the Marlins for the Miami Herald.